During his long-awaited reshuffle, President Ramaphosa appointed former Human Settlements Minister Lindiwe Sisulu to the Tourism Cabinet portfolio. Joining us now for his reaction to the latest appointment and the sector's expectations is tourism consultant and lecturer Dr. Unathi Henama. Dr. Henama, very good afternoon. Thank you for speaking to us. In what state does the new minister find tourism in?
The minister finds the tourism industry in a very precarious position. It has never declined like this. Remember, since 1994, the tourism industry has always been on an upward trajectory. So right now, the minister finds the industry on its knees because people don't want to come to our country because we have got a very slow vaccination program and they put us on the red list. So the minister arrives, obviously, after the aftermath of the destruction of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So what should our focus areas be? Because I think there are potentially two main areas to look at. One is the level of unemployment, all the jobs that have been lost. And two, you talk about being on the red list and getting more people to come into South Africa.
Well, the minister arrives. I think this is a great opportunity. I think it's a very good appointment. I think the minister is very, very experienced in governance and in cabinet, so she would be a very, very important player. The only thing I think we should do is to ensure that the vaccination programs keep up with the people so that we are not on the red list of countries. So I believe very, very important that our vaccine programs can improve so that we are removed on the red list and we can ensure that we recover our tourism industry. But we recover our tourism industry by ensuring that the entire economy opens at 100%. And if we can be able to do that, then I can promise you that once again, tourists will want to come to our country, consume our beautiful country, and then that will alleviate the job losses. Remember, ever since 1994, tourism has been able to create more jobs than any other industry at the lowest cost, because immediately when one job is created.
Now let's focus a little bit on the red zone, because we're coming from a situation where South Africa had 2.2 million visitors to her, and now it's dropped to 2.8 million. Significant drop. How do you convince members of the West, or visitors rather, to come to South Africa?
I believe one of the issues we should have challenged immediately was when people started speaking about a South African variant. I think perception trumps the truth. So the most important thing is that we must once again, when we do our marketing, when we speak with World Health Organization, we must indicate them that in as much as South Africa had high infections, we have got a high recovery rate, which is obviously more than 93%. And also we have experienced less number of deaths. I mean, there are other countries which are BRICS members, which have actually experienced deaths of nearly 500,000 of their population. So I believe South Africa has got a very good story to tell. But I believe we have to obviously change perception through marketing and also marketing outlays.
Now let's talk about support that the sector requires at the moment, because obviously it's in absolute dire straits.
I think that the first support we need as the tourism industry to get us out of this, let's ensure the vaccination programs are ramped up. I think that's the first thing we need. Then other structural issues such as safety and security, obviously we must ensure that South Africans are safe in their houses before tourists can be safe. The issue of aviation policies. South Africa is very, very far from source markets, and if we want to ensure people come to this country, then we have to ensure that the prices for aviation come down so that it is cheaper to come. I mean, if I must talk to somebody in London and say, come to South Africa, they'll say, well, if I fly to Kenya, if I fly to Bali, if I fly to Thailand, it's much cheaper compared to South Africa. So from a competitive perspective, our pricing is not right because of the poor aviation policies that we have. So I believe if we address those three issues, then our tourism industry will obviously become once again competitive, because, I mean, we are a bucket list country. We are a warm people. We've got a culture. We've got the beauty. All those things we need are there. But obviously, these other issues require the active support of government.
Dr. Henama, potentially two other areas that we have in our control are certainly domestic tourism and tourism from African countries, those that are our neighbors in particular. Do you see these having a bearing on improving the numbers?
The tourism industry obviously depends on domestic tourism. Any tourism destination that has a robust tourism industry has depended obviously on domestic tourism. But again, let's remember, the domestic tourism is a function of the economy. If you look at the economy of South Africa, the decline in our economy therefore led to more people being less domestic tourists. So if our economy can recover, then domestic tourists will recover. If we look at regional tourists, the vast majority of regional tourists dive here, they don't fly here. But one of the challenges we face is that we face poor service levels at places such as Beitbridge. You also find a situation where it is difficult for a lot of West Africans to come and visit South Africa. And West Africans are one of the biggest spenders. I mean, people of Nigerian descent, they cannot come to South Africa without a visa. People from Cameroon, they cannot come to South Africa without a visa. So we have to look at our visa system. We must make it easy for people to come and visit destination South Africa and for them to come and spend money here, because already research indicates that Africans already spend more money than European tourists when they come and visit South Africa.
Dr. Unathi Henama, tourism consultant and lecturer, giving the thumbs up to the new Minister of Tourism, Lindiwe Sisulu.